this content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill no one.
Wait a second.
Oh, no.
When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings! You're watching SeptumSin versus the World. I'm SeptumSin. This is Kotobuki Jake.
Hey?
And we're here to show you what we got.
Show me what you got. I want to see what you got. Oh boy.
All right, well, we got some fun stuff, and I guess I'm going to be the one leading us off this time. I'm going to be finishing off a couple of things, because I had a number of used ones that I've been kind of going through. Finally, this is the last of the used ones, because I have to check out every used one I get to make sure it works. So
I need to get better at that.
Going to be done with this. I got some anime up here, and I've got the last dregs from my Criterion sale pickups.
The dregs, huh?
So we're gonna, well, I mean, there's no such thing really as dregs from it, but we're gonna start with a lesser one, a fairly cheap one, and that is the Scorsese shorts. I was interested in this, and I had said so much when we were talking about it. Matter of fact, so many of my pickups this time have been ones that were released within the last couple of months by Criterion.
They've been busy.
On it, you've got the Italian-American, which is a 49-minute one, American Boy, 55 minutes, The Big Shave, 5 minutes, It's Not Just You, Murray, 16 minutes, and What's a Nice Girl Like You Doing in a Place Like This, 10 minutes. As far as the respective years, we've got 74, 78, 67, 64, and 63. Now we have a few special features here as well. So that's pretty cool. You got some commentary, and of course you've got your essay.
All right.
What's odd, my copy of Royal Tannenbaums does not have an essay. Did that one have an essay on release? I don't know.
Well, I mean, let me see. I have a...
Because, see, I had a used copy I got for $1 and of that release, so I don't know. It could be woefully incomplete.
Well, I have an essay with my copy.
So, yeah, mine's just incomplete.
Yeah. But
They do
then
an
again,
updated Blu-ray release of that.
I'm not sure. I have it on DVD, but
I mean,
I'm not sure this was the initial, because weren't there 2 releases?
I think there were 2, but I don't think that they were
the nice one.
release. I mean, I have that release. I just don't have it with it. Say.
Okay.
So, just curiosity. Oh, well. That's just like my copy of Yojimbo and Sanjiro. They don't come with the essays either, but that's because I got them used at Movie Stop, so I need to upgrade those to Blu-ray.
Right. Same here. I have Yojimbo and Sanjiro. I'm still waiting for the complete Kurosawa collection. You know it's coming. Now, another auteur who hopefully somewhere down the road will get a complete Criterion collection. And at the very least, this film itself should, I hope. But I'm not holding my breath. A film that is a very rare film that we have marked, I believe we both marked, as a priority on our recent way of doing new releases. and again, it's very rare that I'll mark something as a priority, but I had pre-ordered this. I finally got Masaki Yuasa's Ride Your Wave,
Very good.
which is fairly timely, I guess, given the wave of precipitation headed this, well, that's already here, actually, you're starting.
Yeah.
But this, I was a little bit annoyed because when it arrived, it was in an envelope, and it was like this.
Yeah.
So the top part got a little bent. I'm very peeved about that.
I'm just glad you
But-
got the slipcover.
Yeah, but this is a really cool movie. I've already talked about it a lot here. I'm not going to go into it right now, but
And it was on the pickups last week.
right now, a further explanation though. One of the reasons this ended up a pre-order of mine, this one and Modest Heroes were ordered when they were directly from Shout Factory, basically because I wanted to make sure I got Crime Wave, and I was like, you know what? I want this movie. What the hell? I'll pre-order it.
I still
So,
need to get
there we
Modest
go.
Heroes.
Yeah, it is a good one.
It's on my list. It's just
Yeah.
like Weathering with You. You saw that they have that massive, like, special edition, but I don't know if it's
I
worth
don't know
like
that I
$100 or actually I think it was $68 or $70.
I don't think I saw that. I did see the Steelbook edition that's coming out, but
They got a big special edition coming out for
Oh.
like $70.
isn't that something?
You gonna be getting that one?
No, I've already put in a pre-order for a different edition.
Well, I have an anime pickup that is as good as Weathering with You, even though I've never seen this one or that one. I just know it is.
Okay.
One that snuck into our new release section as a priority, and that is Aiken, the release. So, this, and I'll admit, I'm thinking about ordering Jungle no Iko as well, because these were just so absurd and so terrible that it's just, sometimes something is just so bad that you've got to be able to hold on to it.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Strangely busty, huh? Yeah, I would say that is definitely strangely busty. I mean, god darn. Only in Airmaster would I see something like that. That is pretty still. I know you're jealous of it because this is
I am.
higher than the Weathering with You, obviously.
Oh, yeah. And along those same levels of quality, because after all, not every Fathom Events release can be quite the same level of quality as Ride Your Wave or Weathering with You.
Or Ika.
What?
Or the other one that I just
Oh,
showed.
no. This is more on the level of Aiken. A film that the two of us actually saw at a Fathom event, and I waited until it came down to a price that I considered reasonable, and it was about $12 on the Right Stuff sale, and I suppose that was reasonable. It was certainly cheaper than I'd seen it before, and that is the film Fireworks, which, in its defense, did have one hell of a kick-ass theme song that should have been up for original song. And except for a few instances of very poorly integrated CG, it was a visually gorgeous film. It was interesting, but it should have been better. But I'm glad to have it. And it does... they should have included the music video. I mean, that's just a crime that they didn't do that. But it does have features, which is better than most. But like I said, it finally came. It was like $12, which is probably 3 or 4 more than it was worth. But, it usually goes for a minimum of 15. So, yeah,
It's
I got it.
amazing when you look through which ones have features and which ones don't.
Right.
You think to yourself, well, the older releases don't have any hardly, but that's not true. Depends on what the release is. I was
Now,
looking
this
through my
one-
old Berserk one, and it had a ton of special features and interviews. I was just like, wow.
Well, this one does include a interview with producer Eun Choi, which I believe may be the same interview I actually saw when I went to the theater.
They play some special features afterwards.
Right, but it also includes a booklet and storyboards. So this one has a little bit in the bonus feature department too.
I wonder when we'll ever be getting back to something like that. It's just going to a theater just doesn't feel quite safe these days.
I know. I want to go, and there's so many things I want to do that I can't do. Yeah.
Well, I've got one that's just right on top, like right up there. As good as The Breakfast Club in every way.
Woo!
That is Study Hell.
Oh.
Now, Study Hell is kind of a mockery of The Breakfast Club in many ways, where it's as if the Breakfast Club's detention monitor happened to be a former Vietnam vet that suffering from PTSD and decides that he's going to go on a killing rampage of the students in his detention. This was in the same lot as a couple of well, mostly meh titles, but this was probably, out of the ones I've seen, and I've seen 3 out of 4, this is probably the most entertaining. This one I might actually want to watch again, whereas Ritual and the other one I showed last week about the fun, like the carnival, probably not. So this one at least had some entertainment value to it. I probably will watch that again. It wasn't that bad. It was fairly entertaining.
Okay. So I'm on a little bit of a movie kick here. This is another one that I have been eyeing for some time. It got really nice reviews when it came out. I did not get to go see it in theaters, but I wanted to see it. And I just never quite got around to paying the price that Walmart had it for as little as 15 or 16. I think just like Fireworks, this ended up being about a $12 pickup. And actually, I think the 2 of them were from a pickup I did, not actually the breakfast, you got me saying breakfast, birthday sale, but I think like one that was shortly before it. And like I said, there was that massive order they sent me all at once. There was like pieces of 5 different orders, which is weird. But anyway, this is a Chinese anime, actually, called Big Fish and Begonia. And this one does have, it says, a making of documentary, the short film that inspired Big Fish and Begonia, music videos. This one has good bonus features, but it supposedly is an absolutely gorgeous film. It got rave reviews for the animation. I don't get to see much Chinese animated stuff, so I'm really curious about that. And should be interesting.
The last Chinese animated series I think I watched was Cooking Master Boy, which I do want to. I would get that if it released. I would get it because it is really cool. So I have my last Criterion from the sale. It's one you probably know already.
Yeah,
it's from the 1950s, and it's called War of the Worlds.
You knew this. Oh yeah.
I mean, I love this film. It creeped me out a lot as a child when I saw it on TV. Just like the weird like ray things that stick out from the flying saucers. It was just creepy as all get out. And even today, it's well. I think it's a well done sci-fi horror film. On top of that, it has the original reading that freaks so many people out from Orson Welles. So that right there is worth it just in that. So 4K mastery. I'll have to watch this on the big screen TV eventually. For those of you, unfortunately, who got to see it last time, it was actually did my last Criterion stroll for a while because I'm only doing movies that I've seen in the collection, and I've run out of those. So
are you waiting until you build 10 back up, or are you just going to? Oh, okay.
I've got like two theoretically, two titles that I have already that I'm sitting on, and I'm just going to build up to 10. It'll be 3 once I'm finished with that Bruce Lee set, but I'm actually going through all the special features on that, so it'll be a while. I'm currently at the special features on the 3rd movie on that, but this is just really awesome. I'm glad to see it, and I love the artwork. I mean, that's pretty cool artwork.
Yeah, good deal. So my next one up, this is one where Right Stuff baffled me because they sent me that massive package with 5 different orders where they drew from each, and then they followed it up with a single item sent randomly, and then immediately after that I got another package with more items. I don't know what that was about, but the single item they sent randomly, I have not been collecting actively the essential stuff, and to be honest, I probably didn't notice this was essential when I bought it, but I didn't pay a lot. I think it was also like a 12 or 13. I could be wrong. Yeah. But it's one that I wanted, and I believe you had said was quite a good series, and that is called Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches. And I'm very curious about this. And again, I don't really mind the look of the Essentials ones. I just like to have the original run when I can.
It's a rare series that I have actually read the entire manga of, yet not seen but 1 or 2 episodes of the series.
There are more and more of those for me.
It's rare that I'm the one who does that. You're the one who normally...
Well, I mean, I've only gotten into manga recently, mostly through the library, but yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this. From what he says, I'd like to read the manga one day, but you know, time.
It's well worth investing time for the manga, and you read much quicker than I do. You can wipe out one of those books in like a few minutes, whereas
no, the average. Well, it depends on the. I would say on average, a single tankobon volume takes me around 45 minutes. Naruto was much quicker. I could knock one of those out in 35 minutes. And One Piece takes close to an hour per volume because they're actually very dense in the writing. Not that it's dense, like, you know, just there's so much dialogue and writing in those. And the denser ones do take longer. But yeah.
Oh, mine is like a couple of days for a volume, even something light. So it just slow going. Though I am looking forward to Skip Beat when the next volume releases in September.
Me too.
So I have one item here from the sale. The only item I got from the sale on here. And that is Goblin Slayer Season 1. This is one I figured would be kind of an iffy for you because the opening is supposed to be extremely gory, or at least the first part. Essentially, is about a guy who he gets all of his family and all this killed by goblins in a very gory, nasty section at the beginning, and then dedicates his life to killing them all. So it is another one of those, like, you know, fantasy style. I don't know if I would call it an isekai because there's nobody that's been like removed from another world to here. Right. But it is definitely a fantasy style, you know, in the same vein of Shield Hero and stuff like that. So I am very curious about it. I mean, eventually I'll get the other Slayer series, a Demon Slayer, when that releases. Well, theoretically, I could get it if I wanted to pay $120 for a season. But no. So, that still looks good. It's got a lot of good hype behind it.
So those two are related then?
Yeah, only in the fact that it's Slayer and Slayer. But
okay, never mind then. So. My next two have the theme of I can't pass up limited edition sets when they're dirt freaking cheap, or at least I have trouble passing them up. I can't remember again. I don't think these were the birthday sale. I want to say these were actually some of the ones I ordered all the way back in May that finally arrived. And they were very cheap. Again, I think they were $10 a volume because Funimation lately has done a really good job of maintaining really low prices on some of their older limited sets. And so it's a good opportunity to pick up the ones you don't have. And I did that with these. They're both series I have a middling interest in, but I got cool, fancy art boxes, so there. And this one is called C or Control. And this one looks fairly interesting. I like the description here, a Faustian fusion of Tron and Wall Street. That actually sounds very intriguing to me. So I don't know. I'd like to give this one a go one of these days. But like I said, I couldn't pass getting that up for like $10.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's hard to believe that Funimation and Aniplex are under the same roof.
Right.
Point. With Sony being the father of both right now. The other thing I forgot to say about Goblin Slayer is that it is based off of a tabletop RPG game adventure. Nice. So kind of like Lotus War, but I guess a different slice of stuff here. So I guess we're going back to movies for me. And the second to last of my used ones, which I also had gotten, a lot of these I got through What Movie One. You check out his eBay page, you go through his, go visit his YouTube channel, check out some videos. He also puts his eBay page down below, and you can sometimes catch some pretty good deals there. But he sold this one here, and it's an Olive Films release, which, by the way, is a pretty, It doesn't do a lot of prints, and that is The Thing with Two Heads. So essentially it's about this doctor who is a racist kind of like asshole, and he's dying, so he's trying to find his body to transplant his head on to, because he learned how to do this. And he ends up getting his head transplanted on the body of a black man here, and who agreed to a procedure in order to try and get out of jail sooner. And you have this where they end up escaping, or he ends up really escaping, and trying to find a way to remove the head of the racist doctor once and for all. It was a decent film. It wasn't the best film, but it's kind of cool having what is all that?
What's what?
I got like a interference there for a moment. Oh well. Either case, it was not a bad film. I really enjoyed it for what it was, and olive releases are always good to get if you can, because they don't produce a lot of each.
Okay. All right, so my next one up, again, I got it basically because it was a limited edition. I don't really know much about the series. Haven't heard anything good or bad. Looks vaguely interesting, and that's a series called Code Breaker.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, nice little art box there. Like I said, I think that was around $10 or so. It says from the director of Full Metal Brotherhood, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm intrigued. One day I'll get to it.
Well, we have some Gundam with us here.
All right.
And it was on the sale.
Oh.
I've heard a lot about this story, and it's one that I wanted to get. It's a 6-episode miniseries called Gundam 0080 War in the Pocket. Now, I've heard a lot about this story, about how well it was written, about this young boy and this guy from Xeon, who's, by the way, the bad guys in Gundam, who ends up kind of crash landing on the planet there, and you kind of had this relationship between these two build. And it does talk a lot about different factions in war, and how we're all people at the base of it. Even Xeon, if you were to go into the series, and I've only really watched the Gundam movie trilogy, the Mobile Suit Gundam movie trilogy, as my exposure to Gundam. I know I'm bad with my anime fandom there, but I did watch. That's about all the Gundam I've watched, plus a couple of episodes of Gundam Wing on Cartoon Network out there. But I do look forward to watching this eventually, and just checking it out. I've heard so many good things about it that it just is one that I probably should have checked out a long time ago.
You see more Gundam than I have. So.
Oh, well, it's a necessity.
Yes, but along those lines, another very long-running franchise that dates all the way back to the 70s, in fact, got a recent shot in the arm, a recent new bit of life. And I say recent, I mean like 2016 or so. When I went through my very brief phase of actually making some serious effort to stream anime as it was airing, I actually did get a few series knocked out. Not many, but a few. And one of these was a very fun, intriguing short series that is a kind of sort of sequel to the old Yatterman series. And it is called Yatterman Night.
I swear we previewed that together.
Maybe. This one takes place a long time after the original series took place. Leopard, this little girl here, Leopard has grown up hearing about the great Yatterman and their heroic adventures. As heroes of justice, they represent everything good with their heavenly city, Yatter Kingdom. But when her mother falls ill and she turns to them for help, she quickly learns they are no longer the heroes of legend. Embracing her bloodline to Doronbol, the leader of Doronbol, Leopard takes on her ancestors' namesake for revenge against the Yattermen and for justice. And her sidekicks are basically the descendants of the original sidekicks as well. And it's just a fun, lighthearted little series. It's got that darker edge. It does get into the whole politics of corruption sort of story arc, but in a more family-friendly manner. Honestly, I did not realize I was ordering the DVD, and I'm a little annoyed by that. But I still got it pretty cheap. I think it was $20 or so. And I really wanted this series. It's a fun one. And I wish I'd gotten a Blu. I don't know if there's a Blu-ray option with this one, but, whatever. Whatever.
Didn't they have like a dog or something? Like
the original. And I need to see Yatterman. And I think I feel like there was another more recent one that was more directly connected to the series, but...
Yeah, that must have been one that
most of them are not available here.
That must have been one that you picked up, yeah, because I know now we watched the first episode of that together.
Did we?
Yeah, I know definitely on that one.
Maybe, okay.
So it was just, now, you obviously continued it, but I did not.
Well, it was either the same... It was either the same season or the one right after with going to be the Twin Tail and Shirobako and Sailor Moon Crystal. But I don't think we did it. We didn't do a sample that season. But so maybe we watched. I know I watched Shirobako with Brittany, and I watched going to be the Twin Tail in game.
I gotta
But-
wonder if
Yeah.
I want to. I need to know that series where they had the black market vegetables. I do wonder.
Yes, we need to remember what that was. It was not great, but I love that.
The opening there.
Yes.
My last one of the used ones that I got. Actually, if you remember, I got that 4 documentary thing. The one with the Robin Williams one, and then the $2 store ones. And this was the last of the. Oh, wait, no. And then there was. So no. This was a different set because an older purchase from the same buyer, but a very nice documentary that's the same is To Be Takei.
Aha.
Which George Takei kind of
Oh
documentary, and it's not. It's not like a big documentary, but it kind of goes and follows him and his husband as they go about, and you get to see some stuff like Leonard Nimoy and Liam Shatner and a few other Star Trek alums there, and as he goes through the cons and about some of the political stuff he got involved in. It's just kind of cool. He is an icon. I do feel like this one would be more difficult for some of our more conservative viewers, so be wary.
Yeah.
And but I still feel it is worth checking out.
Oh,
and
yeah.
even he was into. I think when he was doing this was around the time that he was doing his musical, which was inspired by his life, and where he plays his father. When they were taken to the concentration camps, and we did have those our own concentration camps back in the day, where we were like, well, we're at war with certain Asians, we got to lock up our Asians.
Yeah.
And not something to be proud of necessarily, but I'm glad that we still have this gem living with us today.
Yeah, George Takei is awesome. I do want to see that. I think I'd heard of it, but
It's a very charming documentary. It's not all heavy. It has heavy moments, but it is a very charming documentary. We're a charming individual.
Right. So next up, we have something that I already kind of tipped my hand and said I ordered it, but not to you folks.
Something completely different.
Again, Right Stuff just finished up their birthday sale. And every now and then, I would curse loudly at the large amount of choices I was going to have to make for the sale. And one thing they did was the same day that I was able to complete the main run of Sailor Moon, they put up something that I've been waiting for. There's a series that Sentai's been putting out that has some really nice looking collector's edition sets, and they add up quickly. And even if there wasn't a 3rd season already, and I think possibly more to come, I still did not want to pay a large amount for each set. So I pretty much said, if they go below 30, I'm getting it. And the same day that the Sailor Moon stuff became available at we can say reasonable price, these dropped to, I think it was $28 a volume. So I now have sets 1 and 2 in Premium Deluxe Edition of Haikyuu. Really big, nice looking sets there.
For a moment, I thought you were going to say Food Wars.
No, if I could get set 2 for under 30, hell yeah, that thing's out of print.
I got set 1 for under 30, but not set 2.
I got set 1 for about 30, I think. But yeah, these were both just under 30. This is, of course, a volleyball series that has been very popular. And we do have the manga in the library, and I've been tempted to read it, but the main reason I held off on this were twofold. Sports series, and it was expensive. But like I said, I'm more than happy to put that on my shelf for this particular price. And I do want to see it. One day I'll get to it.
I have to be careful with those types of special edition premiums because of how much room they take up.
They do.
There just isn't a lot of space.
And I'm pretty sure Volume 3 is the same size and style. I'm pretty sure.
Some, like this, that's just, it's collectors. It is still there. And if they ever do like a slim Blu-ray of this, I probably will never get rid of my Urusei Yatsura sets. I put them in storage. Like I have my original Sailor Moon stuff and some of that in storage. But it's gonna be like but I don't think I could ever really get rid of those unless I was in like a major financial bind. But speaking of essential anime, we've been talking about Gundam. I don't have a lot of Gundam. I mean, I already told you about the movies, and of course you saw War in the Pocket, and you know about the Gundam Wing set, which I have, that massive one. Let's talk about premium sets, right? But there's one that's an essential, in my opinion. Matter of fact, I consider two essential Gundam things. One is that Gundam Mobile Suit Gundam movie trilogy, because that gives you a full-on... that's the easy way to watch the original. But the other is the original Mobile Suit Gundam. This is where it all began. And to me, I think if there's anything Gundam that one should watch, it should be at least the original. I have not seen as you can see, I have not opened my copies of these releases. I got it on a previous Right Stuff sale. Mainly because it's 42 episodes long. And the movies kind of give you the full-on story for that. I really do have to just say, okay, fine, and watch this. It's just... it's a lot of episodes. And I got other things on there. I mean, this 6 episodes, I could probably break down, just watch that in like an afternoon. There's no watching this in an afternoon.
There could be.
Long afternoon.
Yes. All right. And now for something completely different. After all that anime and para-anime, I now have a live-action film.
Woohoo!
But it's still Japanese. And, oh, no, wait, no, you know what? I'm sorry, I'm going to save that one for last.
Oh.
This is also a live-action film. And this is one that I did get used, and I'm extremely annoyed that the people who shipped it to me did one of those media envelopes, and it got bent along the way, so the spine has a strong crease in it. Ticks me off. But this is actually a film that checks several boxes. It is flippin' awesome. It's a film produced by Pedro and Agustin Almodovar. Ooh. So, of course, I'm a big fan of the Almodovars. It is a film originally, I believe, from Argentina. So, I think the only other Argentinian film I have is The Secret in Their Eyes, which is flippin' awesome.
Yeah.
And it was one of my favorite films that came out that year. I think it was like 2014, 2015 release, and it's in my top 10 for the year. So it checks off that little mark. And that is an anthology film called Wild Tales. And this movie it kicks ass. It kicks so much ass. I love this movie, and I've been wanting it for so long. And I just did not want to pay $20 for it. And I think I finally ended up getting it for around $15. But like I said, I ended up getting that damn crease in you can kind of see it. Not really. I guess you can kind of see it. But it's so annoying. But finally have it. It's basically 6 stories. I don't recall exactly how it's structured. I can't remember if it's piece, or if they're kind of twined together, but they are mostly self-contained stories that have little to no overlap. I do remember that. but it's definitely a great film. If you're a fan of anthology films in general, I would check it out. It's sort of, there's a theme of revenge, basically, is what it is. Most of the stories focus on someone who feels slighted and they're trying to get some sort of revenge or, quote, justice for the slight. It's fun. Very happy to have that.
Well, my final one is also by a pretty big director. But this one doesn't have a lot of hope for getting an American release. So I had to track down a foreign release that was a region free. It's in English language. That was the original language it was recorded in. It has a lot of big names in it, and it is by a big name director. Now, that director is Woody Allen, and that film is A Rainy Day in New York.
Oh.
It's got some really good names in it. I mean, you've got Timothy, Chalamet, Elle Fanning, Selena Gomez, Jude Law, Diego Luna, and Liev Schreiber. Yeah,
That is a good cast.
and I admit I need to watch. I think I've already seen Wonder Wheel. I just need to see Cafe Society and this one, and I'll have been caught up to seeing all of Woody Allen's films. And this one particularly gets me angry. I had to buy this one. I think was the Finnish copy.
It's Finnish?
I want to say it's Finnish.
Okay.
So, and it has like matter of fact, it does not have an English language on the back. It's there, but it does have a lot of this, and it is a official release. It's just not an official American release.
Yeah.
And because it is region free, it does play on any Blu-ray player. So this may be the only way to get this on physical. There's always been a part of me that looks at getting a foreign release as almost the same as getting it on bootleg, but it's not really.
Right.
I mean, you're still actually supporting the creator this way because it is official. They had to license it. They had to get it all there to do the printing. And I will be able to not only get the film, but have it in my collection when it looks like a U.S. release is highly unlikely. Because of really, I should say because of Me Too in general. This one may never see the light of day in the U.S. I don't even think they're going to be able to get a theatrical run.
And actually, somewhat ironically, I was this close today to checking out one of the reasons why it may be having difficulty here. I was very close to checking out Catch and Kill, but I just have way too much stuff on my backlog.
There's not much now, like controversy out there. It's a like I say, I've been good about not bringing him up, but but this is a pickup, and I have a lot of respect for what I have seen and what I've read. I mean, shoot, I went through his entire biography. Actually, one of my only book reviews.
And again, we are interested in helping preserve the medium of film.
Exactly.
Even the more controversial parts of it.
I have to wonder. He doesn't seem to be very caring about preserving his films because he doesn't release them he's not making it easy to collect his stuff.
It's kind of interesting that that is unlikely to get an American release, and yet you have the re-release of Aiken there in your pile.
Well, you see, this indeed is obviously a very Me Too centric series, as you can see by the cover.
Oh, jeez.
I know. This one does not speak.
And of course, we will be ending on another film that foreign Japanese production that is getting its at least second American release, a 10-year anniversary release, no doubt. This was also a Right Stuff pickup, and again, I don't think it was the birthday sale. I think it was the one they did just before. What was it, like a Memorial Day or 4th of July or something along the? It might have been a 4th of July sale. So, as a movie that I wanted to and tried to, but unfortunately failed to get us to discuss for our Kaiju month that starts next week. But a true classic of film, every bit as brilliant as Wild Tales or the works of Woody Allen. I have the 10th anniversary Attack edition of Death Kappa.
We watched that together, didn't we?
Yes. Yeah. Well, you don't have the Attack edition, but yes, we did watch that together. And the group would love this movie. I don't know why they didn't take it. But anyway, one day we will have a discussion on this.
Did we do that one for Horrorween?
I believe we did, yes.
We're gonna have an odd thing for Horrorween this year. We're gonna have to figure out something.
Yeah, I know.
We're still in this, and likelihood is we're going to still be in this.
Yeah.
You know, weird. At work today, we were talking about. So, I guess we won't have to worry about inclement weather as an issue, as we're still kind of stuck working from home. You know.
I don't know. Tonight we might have to worry even at home, but
yeah, that is true. They're actually closing some areas because of the weather.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yep.
But I think we had some pretty good pickups here.
Yeah, it's good times.
But I hope you've enjoyed this. Of course, if you like this, click that like button, subscribe. We're actually well into the 200s now with subscribers. We're in a safe zone now, which is pretty good. So we're good with the 200s, and we slowly are climbing up that hill. We've been slowly climbing that hill of subscribers as we have been there. Each and every one of you, I believe, was earned with the hard work that our channel does. I mean, shoot, we release quite a number of videos per week. I'm backing off on some of them. I'm debating backing off on some of these vlogcasts for a while, but maybe not the anime reviews. But
well, you obviously aren't skipping Cowboy Bebop, man.
That's a hard one. Besides, I want an opportunity to dive into that Steelbook set.
Yeah, I want that set. I need to. Yeah.
But with that being said, I hope you've enjoyed this, and we will see you on the next.